Okay. Well, I had a great family, two supportive parents, and we went to church. But when I was 15, I was raped by two different men. I lost my virginity. And I started using drugs. I just kept a lot inside because I never told anyone about that. At 19, I ended up trying to kill myself. I OD'd. I moved to live with a Christian family, and I got off drugs and stopped drinking and smoking cigarettes and everything. And I got pregnant, and I had a beautiful son. At the time, I gave him up for adoption. I ended up having another son, and I got married, and we ended up getting a divorce. So my ex-husband got custody of my son. That caused me so much pain, you know. Whenever I was using drugs really heavy, I got pregnant again, and my daughter she was placed for adoption. So now that was 3 children that I had lost, and I just didn't care about anything anymore. So I just kept trying to die, you know, like using all the drugs. I wanted to die in the bathtub. I ended up running a big crack house for a gang, and a lot of really terrible stuff happened. I kept going to the mental institution because using that many drugs, you can't really stay sane. That was a bad life, really bad life. I tried every religion. I studied every religion. And no matter how much I tried to do whatever religion to stop using drugs or for help, it didn't ever work for me. So I eventually went to Satanism, and I sold my soul to the devil. I just remember how awful it was, and I didn't care. And that's the point that I got to, that I was so alone, and I felt like I would do anything. And so I felt a tear from heaven, and I know that's what it was without a shadow of a doubt. But I was at a jail, a local jail, and I was looking at 8 years. Something inside of me where I had already tried every other option of every religion, of every drug, of everything that a person could try, you know, and I was in jail. And I just basically told God this in my mind, and I told him that if he was real, that I really wanted to know that. I feel so grateful. I really needed that time because I was able to read my Bible and get to know Jesus one-on-one and have a relationship with him. And it didn't matter what anyone else said about him. It was how he showed me how he is, and how loving and peaceful and caring and understanding, and just basically how he died for me, so that everything that I did was forgiven. And that was the greatest thing. That the other religions, there were some things that it took the death of Christ to forgive me for, that I couldn't forgive myself for those things, that he had to die so that I could live again. And he showed me that I couldn't sell my soul to Satan because it was never mine in the beginning to sell anyways, and that I hadn't gone too far to come back. I don't think people know that there's nothing that is too much for God to handle, and nothing that the blood of Christ can't undo.